I only need 2 words to describe Leticia James, and no, it's not strawberry cheesequake. The words I would use are hypocrite and goofy. The woman's goofy. We quite commonly hear that the left often accuses Trump of doing exactly what they're doing, and it turns out she's no exception. As you might know, she's been the one keeping Trump on his toes legally about the overvaluation of Mar-a-Lago, calling it loan fraud. Even though Trump disclosed this information to the bank, a bank rep showed up in appellate court and testified, yes, we knew it was overvalued. We gave him the loan anyway. We didn't care. It's him. His business is good for us, and we would gladly do business with him again. Anyways, let's see what Leticia James has been up to. Welcome to the doghouse.
Let me just say this to Big Tish James, the New York Attorney General. I dare you to try to continue your lawfare against President Trump in his second term, because listen here, sweetheart, we're not messing around this time, and we will put your fat ass in prison for conspiracy against rights, and I promise you that. So think long and hard before you want to violate President Trump's constitutional rights or any other American's constitutional rights. It's not going to happen again.
It's important that attorneys general representing our respective states stand up and enforce the rule of law. The president of these United States is not above the law.
No matter how rich, powerful, or politically connected you are, everyone must play by the same rules.
Please sue him for us.
Oh, we're going to definitely sue him. We're going to be a real pain in the
The Angle has obtained shocking allegations leveled by the Trump administration against New York Attorney General Leticia James. The Federal Housing Finance Agency has sent a criminal referral to the DOJ accusing James of mortgage fraud. In a letter to Attorney General Pam Bondi, Director Bill Pulte says James appears to have falsified records in order to meet certain lending requirements and receive favorable loan terms. He cited a property in Virginia that she's allegedly claimed as her principal residence and a property in New York that she claimed as a 4-unit structure instead of the required, instead of a 5, which Pulte says means she was able to get a different type and more favorable loan.
No way. Is this for my birthday? Because you're 2 days late. This is almost as good as when Joy Reid got fired. Tyler, we done forgot about you. You mean to tell me the party of Trump wants the Mexican borders open, and Trump wasted all the FEMA money on illegal immigrants, and Trump is out here starting wars? And don't even question me on these, because I've got the receipts and I will link the clips, no hesitation. That party is now the party of loan fraud? You cannot make this stuff up. The Federal Housing Finance Agency has written a criminal referral to the DOJ citing that based on media reports, Ms. Leticia James has in multiple instances falsified bank documents and property records to acquire government-backed assistance and loans and more favorable loan terms. This has potentially included 1. Falsifying resident status for a Norfolk, Virginia-based home in order to secure a lower mortgage rate, and 2. Misrepresenting property descriptions to meet stringent requirements for government-backed loans and government assistance. Now would be a perfect time to hit up this little tangent. When powerful people cheat to get better loans, it comes at the expense of hardworking people. Everyday Americans cannot lie to a bank to get a mortgage, and if they did, our government would throw the book at them. Now, did you notice the government-backed loans and government assistance part? I guess it really does come at the expense of hardworking people, and they really should throw the book at her. So some things she's accused of here would include listing a 5-dwelling unit as a 4-dwelling unit to cut down on restrictions. She also listed her father as her husband, you creep, for a marital advantage. But forget all that, because here really comes the juice. Remember the property in Norfolk, Virginia that mentioned principal residence? She listed on the application that it was going to be her primary residence to get a cheap loan. Now, per New York state law, to hold any elected office, you must be a resident of the state. Now, this loan was applied for after she already had her residence in Brooklyn and before the witch hunt of Donald Trump, and therefore can be taken to mean she moved, and therefore can be invalidated, reversed, and declared unlawful because at the time of these proceedings, her seat was legally vacated.
If her residence is officially in a completely different state, her job is vacated, meaning she is not the attorney general of the state of New York anymore. This case goes far beyond just who did she defraud when it came to some banks. It goes to what extent did she defraud the people of the state of New York? If she actually established her residence in a completely different state, New York state law dictates she's not allowed to be the attorney general anymore. You are not allowed to hold public office in New York if you're not a resident of the state. And that would also mean that the ensuing prosecution of President Trump that took place just weeks later was itself a total scam for yet another reason, because she wasn't the lawful attorney general of the state.
This woman bragged so hard about how she was going to get Trump for loan fraud. She gloated from the highest rooftop for anybody who would listen. But you know what? It kind of makes you wonder how someone could rise to the rank of attorney general, she's a lawyer, and be this dumb. To not think that listing another house could invalidate your very powerful job just to save a couple bucks on a loan, but here we are. And my, how the tables have turned. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. And oh, one more thing the left likes to say about Trump.
No one is above the law.
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 Because liberal, if you like what I do, please leave a like. They really help. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.
That's what you slipped in. That's what was on your shoe. And that explains the abrasion on your palm. The day of redemption is at hand.